Hello, my name is Jimmy, and this is the 2024 Jaguar F-Pace. No, this isn't the SVR, but with a turbocharged inline-six, well, it's it's still pretty quick, let's be honest. This specific one here is the mid-engine. You can get the base 4-cylinder and of course that lovely V8 on the top SVR. But let's be honest, this is the more, I was going to say economical, but the 4-cylinder is the one that's more economical. This is the kind of the one you should get, because the 4-cylinder, while it's decent power, you just want a little bit more. Because this, well, it accelerates to highway speeds in about like mid 5 seconds. And that's kind of where you want to be at. For, well, the chassis and everything that Jaguar is giving you, you kind of want a little bit more, right? You don't want something just a little bit more basic. So what do they give you for 2024? It's all aerodynamic now. You don't have an option. There's no base or whatever other trims there were. Only aerodynamic, which means that everything is actually quite sporty. You get a lot more standard features, like heated steering wheel. Let's be honest. Like $25,000 Hyundai or Kia already has that, so it's nothing new, but you know, for JLR, that's something. Also standard is this blacked out trim. The entire vehicle is blacked out now. You can still get the silver option. That is an optional extra if you want to go for that, but I don't know. I just love the look of a completely blacked out Jaguar. Like it's just really nice. As the F-Pace has been around for like 7 years now, things are getting a little bit more dated, but you know, in my eyes, I don't see it that way. I feel the F-Pace still looks good today. It might be the fact that you just don't see that many around, or I don't know, I just love the look of them. It just, well, still looks good. Headlights, taillights, bumpers, yeah, that has been updated over the years, but the overall shape, it's, well, exactly the same as what it was before. But there's nothing wrong with that. And, well, actually, the F-Pace is one of the larger vehicles in this class. Comparing to, like, the X3 and GLC, this actually has a decent-sized trunk. Obviously, it's power-operated, and you can store quite a lot inside. Underneath, you do get this spare tire, and if you, well, were to take that out, you get a lot more space for, I don't know, whatever you want to stash underneath the low floor itself. You can lower the rear seats 40-20-40, so longer items can still go through and you can still have 4 people. Excellent for ski trips, for example. In terms of the rear seats, headroom, legroom, not a problem at all. Very comfortable. Heated seats are optional extras because JLR, but it's just a really pleasant place to be. You get ventilation as well as USB-C ports, so you can charge your devices and remain cool on those hotter summer days. In terms of fitting car seats, I am a child passenger safety technician, and while on the driver's side, this is a collect lane infant seat. No problems getting the infant carrier in here, plenty of space within the cabin. On the passenger side, this is a collect FIMF in rear facing. Once again, I'm sitting in front of it with no problems at all. Plenty of space for the front occupants. If you have forward-facing seats, it shouldn't be a problem neither. The headrest is a little bit back compared to like the seat back itself, so it shouldn't, well, interfere with your forward-facing seats. But as with any, do double check if you're purchasing the seat or the vehicle. However, I can tell you it can't sit 3 across. So if you were to have 3 kids or 3 kids that need child seats, sadly, the F-Pace is not the best vehicle for you. These are the optional performance seats, and I absolutely love them. The top, well, it's basically like the F-type seats. They just hug you in. These kind of wings that's on the side, or bolsters, they hold you in so tight, and they're active as well. Or not active, they're inflatable, I should say, with a little button here on the side. So I can, well, squish myself a little bit more if I wanted to. But, you know, I'm getting older. There's a little bit more to squish than before, so I'd rather not. Anyways, the seats themselves, heated and cooled, which is fantastic for hotter summer days or colder winter days or whatever Vancouver decides to throw at you. But you can get the sport seats, so the regular seats, in massaging. I have tried massaging seats on a JLR product before. I don't think they're worth it over these. I think these are the ones to pick. In front of me, you do get your typical Jaguar steering wheel. It has a bunch of capacitive buttons where you have to actually press. So it's a little bit difficult to use sometimes. However, once you get used to it, I think it's going to be fine. You do get a full digital cluster, and it is decently configurable. You can have a tach in the center, you can have a tach and speedometer, you can have map, you can, well, even have media if you want. So it's decently configurable to what you kind of want on the screen. Sadly, no heads-up display on this unit. It is an optional extra that this vehicle doesn't have, but you do get this as standard. This infotainment has been updated since last time I was in an F-Pace, but it's your typical JLR system now. It works quite well, and there's wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, and it's been flawless, which on a JLR, I know I keep repeating that, but I'm kind of surprised. You know, this has been a lot better than I thought. And the system, while it is a little slow, same with that cluster. You press buttons, it takes a second, but when I'm in CarPlay, it's fine. And you get like all your physical buttons on the bottom that you really would need for your climate control. You got your mode dial here for your drive modes. I mean, it's simple, yet it's kind of elegant. Like the stitching, it's kind of imperfect, just to tell you that, yeah, it's still a JLR product. But the leather itself is nice and soft. This is really nice in here. And the contrast on the silver and the black, I can't complain. I really can't. This is just a beautiful cabin. Underneath the hood, it's a 3-liter turbocharged inline-six. That gets you 395 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. If you really want more power, of course you can step up to that SVR, and that's just shy of 550 horsepower. But, you know, this is a little bit more pocket-friendly because aspect here, it's about 90,000 Canadian. It's quite in line with like the X3 and GLC equivalents. However, it's not as quick as them. Because the X3, that M40, it's redonkulous. How quick that, well, B58, right? It's definitely underrated. That engine is just amazing. But this, well, it actually has a decent amount of character to it as well. The mild hybrid that's in here, it's smooth-ish. When coming to a stop, it's pretty good. It's just when it starts up again, it's just not as smooth as some other mild hybrid vehicles. However, I'm gonna use a JLR kind of like a punchline, but for a JLR product, it's actually pretty darn good. I don't have like much complaints about the powertrain. A lot of the power gets sent through the rear, and you definitely feel it. You can turn traction control off, and there's a button handy dandy right here for you. Because that rear end, yeah, it can definitely swing out. Well, you kind of expect it because you're like fully on throttle or whatever. But it's just a good feeling, it really is. The suspension may be a little harsh for some, just because it is definitely leaning a lot more to that sporty side than the comfort side. If you want a more comfortable F-Pace, get a Range Rover Velar. That's essentially the same, but, well, more Range Rover-y than sporty, if you know what I mean. Overall, to be honest, this isn't the F-Pace I would have. While I do like the F-Pace overall, like the shape, the kind of the materials that's inside, for the 90,000 that's in here, I just don't feel like this is worth the money of what JLR can actually get you. Because the SVR, I know that's 110, but hear me out. At 110, I mean, this is actually based at 80,000, I think. So 30,000 Canadian dollars more. Yes, that's a hefty sum, but it's a V8. And that just makes sense. Because what else are you going to get a V8 in these days? An X3? No, it's just 4 cylinders or inline-sixes. GLC? All 4 cylinders. A Macan? No, either that 4-cylinder or the 6. And that's all you get. You can't get a V8 in this class. And that's why if I was to pick an F-Pace, and I definitely would, considering how well it just feels overall in here, but I wouldn't get this. Get the SVR. Get the V8. Because, let's be honest, there's not a lot more chances for you to get a V8 out there. It's going to be one of the last, and it's a good V8. I think I had some sounds recorded of the last time I was in one. If I do, I'll definitely drop it here. But I think that's really it. That's all I gotta say about this F-Pace. Is it the one I would buy? No. Get an SVR. That's the one I would pick. But it's an aged, fine machine. That's what I want to say about it. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later.